What's going on, guys? Zach here, your customer success manager over at REISift. We just went over how to pull sellers list using Listsource. Now we're going to talk about pulling a buyer's specific list using Listsource. If you have not watched the list on how to pull sellers list, please go back and watch those prior to watching this video. You'll learn how to use Listsource a little more in depth in those videos. So if you haven't done that, go ahead and pause this video and go back to those videos prior to this video. Without further ado, if you have your Listsource account open, go ahead and open it now and let's get started. All right, so just like normal, when you get into your Listsource account, you're gonna click create your own. Now, something to think about with buyers, there's going to be slightly different criteria and some of the same things that we find with sellers lists as well. Stuff like geography, we kind of want to know, have buyers that are buying in the place or in the area that we're marketing to. Okay, so I'm just pulling Broward County just for this video. So once you put in your county or zip code or whatever you're using to pull your list, or the area you're using to pull your list, you're going to go over here to the property tags. Mine's taking a little longer to load. But something on that point, something to think about is if you're pulling a buyer's list and you just want to pull a buyer's list for some hot zip codes, you might want to look into your area of what's selling within recent timeline, like maybe within a year or 6 months or even 90 days would be better to pull those zip codes, and then maybe even pull buyers that are buying in those zip codes. That would increase your chances of offloading your deal. All right, so once that loads, go over to the property tag, okay? We're going to go to equity. Now for equity, it's going to be similar to pulling a free and clear list, because what we want to know is we want to know if the buyer bought their property for cash. Okay, we're looking for cash buyers here. So if they have 100% equity in their property, or they've bought it with, you know, either private money or cash, we want to know that. So once you get the equity, you're going to go down to last market sale date. Okay, we're going to keep this parameter within the last year. We want to know who is active in the market. So we want to know within the last year. You can go maybe 2 years out, but we don't recommend that. 6 months if you really want to hone in on those buyers that are buying within the last 6 months. But we keep it about a year, okay? So we keep this default a year and we just go ahead and add, all right? Then you're going to go to last market sale price. Now this is important right here. We're not going to go like we'd normally do from $1 to your average median. We might even go a little higher than that to get those cash buyers that are buying those higher properties. But you at least want on your minimum $100. And the reason being is because now you're going to get rid of those quick claim deeds or those quick transfers or their arm's length transfers by putting this in. So we normally put $100, even $1,000. So we can kind of eliminate those people, but we're going to go ahead and put $100 to, we've been putting 300,000, so I'm just going to bump it up to 500,000 and add, okay? So once that adds, we're going to go to property type, and we're going to keep it same single family residence, the preset selection 1 to 4 units. If you want to keep this in mind now, if you want to pull out buyers that are buying larger multifamily properties, you might want to pull a separate list like you would for sellers to kind of hone in on those specific buyers. We're going to just focus on what we normally market to, which is single family 1 to 4 units. So we're going to go ahead and pull that on this list, but also just keep that in mind, just a little tidbit of information in case you want to use that. Okay, so after that, there's nothing else we got to pull here. Options. Now this is kind of important here. We want to pull absentee owned properties, whether it's in-state or out-of-state properties, because we don't want someone who might have bought their house for cash and now is living in it. They're most likely not looking for investment properties. So keep that in mind. So owner occupied status is absentee owner. You can keep in-state owners or out-state owners. We just keep both. That's completely up to you. Trustee owned properties, no preference there. Corporate owned properties, we're going to go ahead, no preference there. And then also address completeness requirements, just like all our other sellers lists, we have no preference because we can go ahead and clean that up in REISift. So once you do that, save criteria. Okay, we're going to do a buyers list. Now remember, you can put as much information here as you want. okay, how much detail as you want to know what you pulled, but I just do the what it is, the day or the month and the year, and then the county. Okay, save that. All right, and then go ahead and purchase your list. So that's basically how you pull a buyer's list. You're gonna pull that, skip trace those records within the REISift account, and then we're gonna go ahead and market to them like we would any other seller. You're gonna go ahead and change your approach slightly, how you're gonna market to those people, because we're looking for buyers. You could open up with something like, hey, I'm looking to buy a house at X property. Okay, if not, then maybe you're interested in buying. But that's how you pull a buyer's list. Like I said, if you have not watched the seller's list, how to pull seller's list on Listsource, please go back and watch those as well. But if you have any questions, reach out to us. Other than that, you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.